Okay, welcome to this video on mapping demographics or also mapping data using Sheets or Excel. Basically in my class, I use this method of mapping to map demographics, but certainly you can use Sheets or Excel to map basically almost anything. Again, as long as you have a location and some kind of piece of data, ArcGIS will figure out a way to typically map it for you. Basically, I've got a fresh map here. The first thing we need to do is make sure we have the data that we're looking to create. And like I said, that can be in Google Sheets or Excel. It doesn't really matter which you use. And for this one, we're going to look at just like provinces or territories and territories. And basically, we can add as much data as we want. And for this particular one, I've just got population percentage change, but you can add as many fields as you want. And it's important to note that in GIS world, we call each of these a field. Okay, so this is the population percentage field. This is like a location field, so we can add as many fields as we want. I try and keep things simple and just kind of keep it down to the one. But once we are, satisfied with what we have, we just want to go File and then go to Download and download it as a CSV or a comma separated value sheet. And you'll have to do that in both either Google Sheets or Excel, whichever that you're using. Okay. And then once you're done that, we go back to the map and we're going to now go to the Add and we're going to go Add and we're adding a layer from File because we have a specific file. And then we're going to tell it which file we're opening up, all right, which is here. And we're going to click import layer. And now on the import layer, it's basically the program is asking, okay, how do I locate these features, right? What am I dealing with here? Which field is the location field? We don't have coordinates, all right? So it's an address or a place. And it's basically, this part here is trying to help the program out by kind of narrow its search down. In particular, if you were using addresses, right, there's going to be lots of main streets out there, or maybe there are other provinces or territories named Ontario or Manitoba. So we want to try and kind of help it out, all right? And by telling it it's in Canada, and we still need to tell it which of these fields is the location one. So it is the province or territory. Usually the program will figure it out for you, but I'm thinking it didn't for this one because I have province or territory there. If I'd written just province, it would know. So I'm going to click province and I'm going to click add layer. And it's going to give us some dots in the middle of each province and territory, and which is great, right? So now we can see, we can change our style. We can decide if we want, the same color but different sizes based on the population change. We can do different colors, like they're all the same size but different colors. So we have a couple of different options here. We just got to make sure we click done. I'm going to hit this one and go done. And remember too, we still need to change some things here. We don't want to call our layer module 3 data sheet 1, right? So we need to rename it to something a little bit more useful. So we're going to call it population change 2011 to 2016. Click OK. And we can also create labels again or deal with pop-ups. I might want to create a pop-up, right? We don't need the province or territory name, but maybe we want the actual percentage to show up for each one. So we can do that. We can tell it where we want that to go, etc. Right, and then we can click OK there. And that's pretty straightforward in terms of creating a demographic map. It's not terrible, right? It has all the information that we asked for from the student. It's got a population change for each province or territory. However, what we might want to do is looking at like part 2 of the online module, which is joining features, and we might want to look at joining to a shapefile. So we can have like, how about, you know, we can color in the entire province or territory. So to do that, we're going to go back to add, we're going to search for layers, and you're going to go to ArcGIS Online. You know, depending if you join the group, you could go looking in our group or looking in favorites, etc., or just go to ArcGIS Online, whatever you need to do. And you're going to look at province, territory, boundary, and if you search on that, you're gonna get a layer popped up that shows that is a shapefile basically of the provinces and territories of Canada. If you're ever curious about what it is showing, you can click View Item Details. It gives you a bit of a breakdown of the details. If you're unsure of like, can I trust this source, you can always click on them and they'll tell you a little bit of information about the source, but I can tell you Esri Canada is good. And to add it to the map, we can either hit the plus sign here or add to map down here. So right now we've got two different layers. We've got our provinces and territories and our population change. And what we're going to try and do is, well, not try, we are going to do, is join these two features together. So what we want to do is we're going to basically go analysis. And we're going to go to, which one is it? Summarize data, and go to join features. Now, what we want to do here is basically, you know, what is our target layer? So our target layer is the provinces and territories of Canada, right? We want this to, you know, we want to keep these shape files, and so we are and so we need to make our population change one, the layer to join to it. Then our next is we just kind of keep the choose spatial relationship. This is all fine, don't worry about this. But we want to go actually with choose the fields to match. So basically it's asking, okay, well, what field is the same in both of these layers? So it's actually the English name and province or territory are the same. Okay, so that's how it's knowing how to combine these two. We want to go one to one, and now we're going to try and tell it what's the resulting layer name. Okay, we're going to unclick that. I'm going to put that down here, and again we're going to run an analysis. Oh, that already has created a layer with that name, so I'm going to just put a 2 at the end. We're going to click run analysis and give it a few seconds to do its thing. Okay, so now we have a join features to provinces and territories of Canada map, but you'll notice we've got a bit of an issue here. All right, basically we've joined everything except for Quebec and Newfoundland and Labrador. Now there's a very good reason why that's occurred. If we look at the table for this provinces and territories, all right, we will see how they spell Quebec and Newfoundland and Labrador. Okay, we've got the accent here and Newfoundland and Labrador. On my layer that I imported, okay, I actually did not put the accent on Quebec, nor did I write and. All right, I put the ampersand. So even though it's a small difference, it's enough of a difference for the program to not join them together. So it's very important that the names are exactly the same. We can't change the names in this folder or in this layer, but what we can do is we can click it and copy it. We should be able to copy it. All right. Or we can add a new tab and just type in Quebec. And don't know why that's not wanting to work. So go Quebec. Make sure we get the spelling with the accent. Okay, and on our map here on the layer that I uploaded, we can go and here we can actually double click and change the name of it. And on the Newfoundland and Labrador, we can change that and put and. All right, now we're going to get rid of this layer because it doesn't do us any good. We're going to do it again. Right, join features, province and territories of Canada. Choose our fields to match as our English name, province or territory, 1-to-1. Put a 3 on this just to play it safe. We're gonna unclick that and we're gonna run analysis again. Okay, so now we have a new layer created. We can see that all our provinces and territories are colored in, and that's because they all had the same name. Again, just like we've done in other maps, we go click change style, and we have to just tell it which attribute do we want it to show. Well, we want to show it the population percentage change. And again, we have a lot of different options in terms of what that map will actually look like in terms of our drawing style, right? We can go back to that one if we really wanted to. We could do unique symbols if you want to have each province and territory having its own. This is kind of the one that most will go to, right? Because we get the gradient scale. What I like to do is click on options, and we can also then classify the data, and it breaks it down into different breaks, right? And we can play around with that if we want. We can do natural breaks, we can do equal intervals, I like to do the natural breaks. You can change how many classes that you want, right? You can do rounding if you really want to. These are things that conversations you'll have with your students in terms of how you want to do it. And then make sure you click OK, right? And make sure you click done. If you don't click done, it won't save it. Right? And again, if you want the info for each specific province to show up, we can create labels, right? And we can change our label to be our population percentage change, right? And have the actual number also show up on the map. And there you go. Remember to save maps. You click the button up here to save. If you want students to share the link to the map with you, that's done right here as well. So hopefully you find this tutorial useful.